was a moral act.
We think he didn't kill enough, but thanks God, what he killed, it's good. It's a good beginning.
Since the Talmud outlawed the child, or issue of a Gentile, as that of a beast, a Gentile had as little legal rights in a Jewish court as did an animal. The Talmud states that if a Gentile sue an Israelite, the verdict is for the defendant, the Israelite. Conversely, if the Israelite is the plaintiff, he obtains full damages. So vile was the nature of a Gentile that the great Simeon ben Yohai said, "The best among the Gentiles deserves to be killed." Talmud, in Treatise Sanhedrin, an extensive passage describes the right of the Pharisee to kill anyone.
What these two rabbis are studying is the section of the Talmud dealing with personal injury. They start with a statement of laws, called a Mishnah, which outlines the monetary responsibilities of the guilty person.
Rehabilitated him to help. Okay, read the Gemara.
Why?
Yeah, why?
But as the students come to the commentary section, called the Gemara,
maybe it really doesn't mean that. Maybe it means that the Torah really meant that you have to take out his eye. It can't mean that. Torah never could have meant that. Harei shahayasuma. I'll give you an example. Harei shahayasuma, if the person was blind, Visima, and he blinded somebody else. Kitea, and he was missing the limb.
Yeah.
And he cut off somebody's limb. Where he made someone lame.
Yeah, he's a lame person himself, and he made someone else lame.
So how can you effect this punishment on him? He already is suffering from this.
So besides the written Torah, the Jews studied oral law and commentaries. They called it learning, or Talmud. It included virtually everything that could concern a human being, from philosophy to the relationship between the sexes, from history to mysticism, politics, ethics, aesthetics, the natural world, and on and on.
It is important for the Israelis to shift attention somewhere else and make the world forget what Goldstein did. Immediately after the Goldstein attack, the Israeli Secret Service clandestinely planted a bomb in a Catholic church in Lebanon, hoping to kill hundreds of Catholic worshippers, a bombing which would then be blamed on the Arabs and in this way shift media focus onto the Arabs. Arab attacks and 50-year-old Holocaust tales from World War II are what the Israelis seek to keep constantly in the news any way they can.
There's another mass killing in the Middle East today at another place of worship. It happened this morning in Juni, Lebanon. ABC's Mike Lee has details.
At Our Lady of Salvation Church near Beirut, the wreckage of a bomb that ripped through the congregation of Maronite Christians. One woman who was wounded said, "I never heard the explosion. I went deaf and found myself flying. Then there were mutilated bodies all around me, and my husband was dead." No one claimed responsibility for the murders.
It's not time now to send any accusation. We have to wait for judiciary authorities who will investigate.
But as always in the murky politics of Lebanon, there were conspiracy theories, with foreigners at the top of the list. Some government officials implied that Israel planted the bomb as a distraction from the Hebron massacre.
When the Israeli Secret Service bombing of the Lebanese Catholic Church was exposed as a Jewish covert terrorist act, the Israelis temporarily ran out of diversions. Goldstein's massacre remained international front-page news as a horrified world got a front-row seat at a species of Jewish hatred and mass murder that we had been taught Jews could never be guilty of. Goldstein, wearing the yellow star, which is the mark of Jews obsessed with the 50-year-old Holocaust stories, perpetuated a massacre of men and boys at prayer based on the Talmudic concept that Arabs are dogs and Israelis are God's master race. The reality of Jewish racism had to be quickly minimized. Hence, the Jews played their master card, calling for none other than Hollywood movie director Steven Spielberg to come to Israel and show his latest fantasy epic, Schindler's List, yet another film about the Holocaust based on a work of fiction by novelist Thomas Keneally. The idea was that the perpetually memorialized Holocaust story from a half-century ago is supposed to have more meaning and importance than the massacre of scores of Palestinian civilians that had just taken place a few days before. It is this perpetual obsession with the Holocaust that gives Israel an alibi and a license to slaughter Arabs. It obviously deeply influenced Baruch Goldstein, and now it is being used like some cheap carnival sideshow trick to distract attention away from Jewish crimes and from the need to undo the mentality that makes those crimes possible.
Was unknown to 60% of American high school students up until a few months ago. I'm just happy that the word is discovered, and I'm just happy it's being discovered in synchronization with the release of Schindler's List, because those are the young people that we need to impress with what's happened.
Among guests at the event were Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin. Wednesday, Spielberg opened Schindler's List in Warsaw, Poland. The real-life events depicted in the film took place in Poland. Spielberg received yet another award for Schindler's List. He was honored by the Producers Guild of America Wednesday in Los Angeles. He was unable to attend because he was overseas.
It is a very wonderful recognition